Greetings Aquarius and welcome to your month ahead Tarotscope for the month of December 2015. This reading is for you if your sun, moon, or rising signs are in the sign of Aquarius. So I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling here. Now of course I have already extensively shuffled just to make sure all the cards are really mixed up and to shake off any energy from prior readings. So the shuffle I'm doing now is more to let the appropriate cards for you, Aquarius, come up to the top of my deck. So I've really connected with your energy by focusing on the energy of Aquarius as a whole and tapping into that energy and using that connection to know intuitively when to stop shuffling. Okay, I've had a couple cards jump out of the deck. For different signs, and we have one for you, Aquarius. So I'm just going to kind of place this over here. Oh, sorry about that glare. Place that there, and we'll talk about it as we go on. I want to keep shuffling here. I'm just feeling guided to continue. All right. So the first card here that we're going to talk about is how you're feeling heading into this month. So how you're feeling in this present moment heading into the month of December. And we have the Page of Swords. I really see you as almost like a free-spirited child in this card. This figure here, this young adult perhaps, really seems like they have no cares in the world. And I think that's why I'm seeing them as almost like an adolescent. You're really focused on yourself right now, and it's almost like you're in a dance. That's how I'm seeing you. You're just kind of twirling around like kids do, you know, how they kind of twirl around in circles. That's what I'm seeing you doing. And it's almost like you're laughing. Like you are just going with the flow, and you're understanding that it's more to your benefit to be playful right now than to be serious. I see you just twirling around in these circles, brandishing your swords, and you're really easily cutting out the things that you need to cut out of your life and really just kind of moving forth on your path. I think that when you acknowledge what could be perceived as negative things about yourself, you're meeting them with humor. You're really laughing about it. And I think it's your way of dealing with them. It's your way of processing this information, to laugh about them and maybe joke about them until you're ready to really do something about them. And for you, this is your way of coping almost, to bring this humor, to bring this childlike lens to view the world through. Card number 2 is going to be talking about your general forecast for the month ahead. So your general forecast, Aquarius, for the month of December. And we have the 9 of Wands. So despite this kind of humor that you've had in your life, I think there's a real call to action this month. Yes, you're kind of laughing things off right now. You're in this childlike state, but I think deep down you know that it's time that you need to take action. You have the sword in your hands for a reason. And that reason is to cut out the negative qualities in your life. The things that you've been doing that you're kind of like, oh, well, you know, that's just who I am. But deep down you know that it's not for your highest and best. So you have that sword in your hands to cut things out. But I think this card here in your general forecast is really speaking towards why you aren't putting that sword to use. The truth is you've been wounded in the past. And it's had to do with your self-expression particularly. We have 2 cards in a row that have blue backgrounds, and that is the color that relates to our throat chakra. So it's talking about the things that we're expressing, that you're expressing, Aquarius, your ideas that you've expressed. And in the past, people may have reacted negatively towards you. They may have reacted in ways that you didn't really want them to react, in ways that were hurtful. So this month, I feel like you're starting to test the waters. That you've obviously been wounded before. You can see this figure. He has a bandage on his head, and he's feeling pretty defensive. You know, he's come out from behind this wall of wands, but he still has a wand in front of him, and he's holding it so that he can use it to defend himself if need be. So this month, you're starting to acknowledge the things that need to be acknowledged, and you're starting to take action and be gentle with yourself, because yes, you still feel like you kind of need to protect yourself here, but you are starting to take the steps to be vulnerable again. And I think that is going to be a little bit of a challenge for you to move into that vibration of vulnerability. I think it's going to be really healing for you as well. And I think you're going to see that you can use these childlike qualities that you've kind of been using to cope. You can use this humor to continue your healing. It doesn't need to just be a way of coping. It can be a way of healing and transformation as well. And by using these tools for yourself, you can really create the reality that you want to create for yourself. In all three of these cards here, there's a hand holding something. A hand holding a sword here as well, and the wand. So I feel like you already have the tools. You're already holding the tools, so to speak. It's this month that you're really going to start using them. I feel like this is where this Ace of Swords comes in. This card is about new beginnings, but particularly in the mental realm. So really be aware of aha moments and moments of inspiration. If you feel the sudden excitement to go out and express yourself, then go out and express yourself. Follow that excitement this month. Follow those intuitive messages that you're hearing in your mind, and use them as guidance to further your growth this month. Even though it's going to be a little scary to put yourself out there again, I think that it's imperative that you get yourself out of your comfort zone. And I think you definitely will, because if you didn't, you would still be behind this wall of wands, but you aren't. You have come out in front of it. So you are starting to expand those comfort zones that you've known for so long. This wall that you've created around your heart and around your feelings and around a place inside of you that is so vulnerable and that is so tender. And you're learning to slowly remove the wall, take the wall down, and really show the world who you are. So card number 3 is your upcoming challenges for this month. And we have the 9 of Cups. Now, at first, it may seem like this card isn't much of a challenge. There's a man sitting with his cups, with his abundance, and he's pretty happy about it. This is a really positive card. So why is this a challenge for you, Aquarius? Well, I feel like for you especially, that there are things that you want to go out and make for yourself. You may find yourself talking to other people and saying, yeah, well, I would really like to do this. I would love to have this sort of career. I would love to have this sort of relationship. I would love to have this kind of home. But XYZ. But I don't have the money. I don't have the support. I never find a nice person to be in a relationship with, but all my relationships end horribly, but this, but that. So I think your challenge this month is to pay attention to your speech. Every time you say but, you automatically cancel out everything that you just said. So instead of telling the universe, I want that career of my dreams, you're saying, I want that career of my dreams, but I'm not talented enough. So the only thing the universe is hearing is I'm not talented enough. And that is what you're putting out to the universe, and that is what you're going to get back from the universe. That is what your life is going to mirror to you. So the ways that you are self-sabotaging your ability to create the reality that you wish to create, being aware of those patterns, that is your challenge this month. What is hindering you from creating that reality that you want to create. Card number 4 is your good fortune, blessings, and abundance. So this is all the beautiful, beautiful things that are coming your way in the month of December. And we have the 4 of Swords. I think this is beautiful because I think for you especially, Aquarius, that this month is a month of real processing, of really overcoming those blockages that you've set for yourself. Really recognizing your way of defending yourself. You recognizing that you do use almost like a false sense of positivity. And it's really a mask. Because you have hurt inside of you, and I think you're going to start to explore that hurt this month. You're going to start knocking down those walls around your heart, and you're going to realize that that's a big part of what's stopping you. It's not that you don't have enough money. It's not that you're not meeting the right people. It's not that you aren't talented enough. It's that you are hurt. And you're scared of being hurt again, and that fear is what's holding you back. So there's a lot of processing going on. And really, again, with this Ace of Swords that jumped out of the deck for you, really pay attention to those random sparks of inspiration. Really pay attention to those intuitive messages that are coming in. And a wonderful way to do this is to follow the advice of the 4 of Swords. This card is all about rest and relaxation and meditation. This is a card of deep rest so that you can revitalize yourself. And I feel like especially for you, Aquarius, it would be such a beautiful, lovely exercise for you to take 10 minutes every day, to sit with yourself quietly and ask yourself, what do I need to know today? And then listen and wait for this inspiration, wait for those aha moments, wait for that epiphany moment. Wait for them to come, because they will come. And stick with this practice. Stick with this practice of rest and meditation, because it, maybe the first couple of times your mind will still be chitter-chattering. But as you continue the practice, I think you're going to find something really beautiful comes out of it. And this practice will be such a blessing in your life. And I think that you'll find that you really connect to it as well. That it'll be such healing time for you. And that in itself will bring so much good fortune and blessings to you this month. So the last card in this spread is this month's lessons. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you know I'm really big on lessons. I like to say that Earth is a school and we are the students. So every opportunity, every situation, every encounter that we have, there's something that we can learn from it. There's a way that we can grow and transform from the lessons. So Aquarius, what are your lessons for this month of December 2015? And we have the 5 of Cups. More processing. I mean, this is a card of grief. This is a card of loss. This is a card of mourning. This figure is obviously quite distraught. And he's looking at these 3 cups that are knocked over and spilt. He's looking at the things that he's lost. I feel like this is really deeply connected to these wounds that you have in your life that maybe you've been covering up by this childlike or partying type sense. This persona that you've created yourself of this happy-go-lucky individual. But it's really just a persona, which means it's really just a mask. And what you're masking is this grief, is this mourning, is this sadness and depression over the things that you've lost in your life. So the lesson is, it's to work through that energy, but it's also something really beautiful as well. If you see this figure, his eyes are glued to the things that he's lost. But if he only turned around, look what he would see. That he has 2 more cups and they're standing upright and they're full. So the lesson here is to turn around. Yes, you have lost things, so do acknowledge that. It is valid to mourn. It is valid and it's important. I think it's an important part of the process. The lesson here, though, is to allow yourself to turn around, to release the need to get caught up by the past, and to turn around and see what you have now. So turning that grief into gratitude. And I think that in itself will be a beautiful tool to help you really achieve these things that you want to achieve. Because right now it's challenging for you to achieve your goals, to achieve your dreams. And who knows, when you turn around and you see these 2 cups and you acknowledge them and you're grateful for them, the universe might just hand you so many more. I feel like this card here came up in your challenges position because yes, it will be challenging for you to overcome these fears so that you can create this abundance, but I feel like this month you will start to create this abundance. That it is such an important month for you to work through these hurts, work through these vulnerabilities, really taking time to honor yourself and your needs, and releasing that false persona that you've lived so long in that maybe you don't even realize right now is a false persona. Listening to your intuition, those aha moments, those sparks of inspiration. And most of all, releasing so that you can let go of old energy and allow new energy to come in so that you can turn around and see the abundance that you still have in your life and have gratitude for that. So this concludes your reading for the month of December 2015. If you're interested in a personalized reading, please check out my Etsy. The link is in the description below.